I'm Morel Inglefield. I'm the art director for Phoenix Magazine. I'm here with artist Papay Solomon in his Phoenix studio, the old National Guard building of all places. We're going to learn a little bit about his life as a refugee of Liberia, and then how that is melded into the work he creates here in Arizona. Why don't we go back to the moment you realized you were an artist? What happened? How did you discover that about yourself?
Well, I had the thoughts of wanting to be an artist when I was about 5 years old. At that point, I didn't really know what it meant to be an artist because I had really no examples around me to exhibit the work and all of that. When I was 5, we were in Guinea, where I was born in Gigadoo, a small town there. And we were stable, everything was good. We had a roof over our head, and then instantly things changed because they had a civil dispute going on and we had to relocate to a refugee camp. When that happened, as a 5-year-old, I didn't really understand how one can come from having everything, food and all of that, to now being cramped in one little shelter. And at that moment, I also stuttered, so I needed a way to out my feelings, and art creation was the best way I could do that.
Tell me about this gentleman. Is he a friend? Is he somebody you know in real life, or is he depicted from photos? Or
Yes, everyone I paint is from real life. With Bright in particular, when I came to the States, I went to Central High School, and he used to go to Central High School. And so I've known him, and I mean, we haven't been the closest, but you know, I've known of him. And so this opportunity presented itself where I was invited to be a part of a show at Smoka, and the show is titled Forever Becoming. And I've watched him grow since high school, and he's the kind of person who is ever on the move, continuously progressing and trying to attain new heights. And it just felt right for me to depict him for this show. And basically the way it works is, you know, we meet up for lunch, dinner, what have you. We have a casual interview, you know, on a meal, nothing serious. Those interviews are recorded and brought back to the studio and analyzed and, you know, broken down into pieces, into digestible pieces. And those pieces, in a way, inform the decisions that are made in the painting.
Is this the same person, or are these two different?
Yes, same person from two different perspectives. One perspective is basically one that is slightly unknown, one that is, you know, pigeonholed, one that is made to look less than and feel less than, and then through work and consistency and dedication and the belief in self becomes an image where one becomes the most visible, which I'm trying to do with my work. You know, take these people who are oftentimes ignored and put them at the forefront, give them the opportunity to be able to tell their own story.
I love the realism mixed with kind of the softness of the non-finito, as the term is. How did you come up with that?
Well, that style or approach, I'm still in search for my style. I don't think I found that yet. It's a ever evolving thing. But this vocabulary, visual vocabulary of mine, came about as a result of living here, being in America, and now being an American. Non-finito is kind of an expression of me feeling like I'm not completed. I don't fit in quite well with what the idea of America is supposed to be. Oftentimes when you think about America, the image that comes to your mind is, you know, this white picket fence with a white family and behind the fence, right? You don't really think about all of the other nationalities and people that make what America is. So the non-finito was inspired by the idea of feeling like, you know, in certain situations I'm too African for people, and sometimes I'm too American, and other times I'm not Black enough or even African enough. So it's a situation where I'm in this new gap where everywhere I turn, I don't really fit anywhere, and where I fit is where I am at the moment, and I like to celebrate that. And for the hyperrealism, you know, when you're in this gap, you know, you're aware of everything, right? You're hypersensitive to your environment. It's like waking up in the morning, you know, in a nice, comfortable bed, but then again, you have to go jump in an ice bath. That instant wake-up call where everything is in focus. That's what it feels like to be me.
This is a significant piece here, and please let us know what is so significant about it. What does it mean to you?
This piece was the first painting that I created that I considered basically my first painting, my first professional painting. And this painting offered me the language, the visual vocabulary that I'm using currently. When I was I was in class, and it was, I think, my second painting class at ASU, and my professor tasked us to go back into art history and draw from an old master, you know, make it contemporary. So after several weeks of research, I landed on Jan van Eyck's Man in a Red Turban. I think it's called something else now. But I took that painting, and the reason why that painting drew my attention is because he was wearing a turban, and turbans are very African. But in the 1400s, that was considered high fashion in Europe. So I was interested by that simple fact, and how, you know, through the transatlantic slavery and all of that, Africans were made to look like, you know, we were nothing. And I mean, the word that was oftentimes used was savages, right? And to have something that a savage would wear and turn it into high fashion in Europe, that was intriguing. So I decided, you know what, this is my way and the best opportunity for me to take that back home. And the way I did that is the result of this painting. So I decided to go into my mom's closet and grab some of her textiles. She has a huge collection of textiles from Africa. I took that without her knowledge. Now she knows and she approves, but then she didn't know. Took it and went to a friend's house and acquired references for this painting, and here we are. I'm trying to really create food for the soul. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to create life, and it is precious to have life, and it's precious to live life. And it's a miracle in many, many ways if you look at, you know, the facts that go into making a human. So to have that opportunity to be able to recreate that essence and that life, to me is a privilege, and I do it with the most joy and most appreciation and most respect, because it was given to me, so now I'm gonna make the best of it.